Hey everybody, and welcome to the new video series of Minitruck Sunday in the shop, where we'll be featuring mini trucks that are currently under construction. Today's video will be featuring one of the many insane builds Kyle Orr has going on, and that's this GMC Canyon belonging to Chad Hicks. Chad already had some pretty wild ideas for the build when he hit up Kyle. He wanted to do a rear engine build using a Cadillac drivetrain, but didn't want the factory front suspension attached to it. So they started with a 5.3 LS motor attached to a 4T80 transverse transmission out of a Cadillac Northstar front-wheel drive vehicle. But the stock placement of the Northstar is offset from the center of the vehicle and thus has a long and short half shaft. So to get around that problem, he used a combination of one of the stock length Cadillac half shafts with one Monte Carlo SS half shaft of the same length. Now, in order to marry the engine to the transmission, he had to drill and knock out one of the alignment pins and run a bolt through the transmission ear of the alignment pin location on the LS. He also had to shave off one tab from the engine. Lastly, he had to sand the edge of the transmission and a hump on the side of the head to get the perfect mating surface. Moving on to the chassis, the frame, rear spindles, A-arms are all one-off. Kyle started by constructing a round tube chassis out of 2-inch tube opposed to the usual rectangle tube. The front suspension geometry is of Kyle's own design, while the rear independent suspension geometry is based off of a Monte Carlo. The chassis uses a narrow stiletto manual rack and pinion, allowing it to be right-hand drive. The front uses Ford Pinto spindles with Granada brake rotors and calipers. The rear is mostly handmade, featuring one-off spindles and control arms swinging on screw and ball joints and mated to Monte Carlo SS hubs, rotors, and calipers. All four corners roll on 22-inch Detroit Steelies and held up with 2,600-pound airlift bags. Moving on to the inside, we see a smooth firewall and floor. Since there is no transmission or drive shaft in the usual place, Kyle maximizes space by building them both flat. Now, the driver's control feature a Corvette drive-by-wire throttle and Wilwood dual manual master cylinder brake pedal. The passengers will sit on a pair of floating seats in the near future. The body is the little part of this truck that is still GMC Canyon, but even that is getting drastic changes. The most notable is the removable hardtop that can come off for those sunny days. Speaking of the future, Kyle still has a lot of work to do to the truck. Plans include a handmade fuel cell which will be mounted behind the firewall and include a filler neck in the cowl, kind of reminiscent of the old Model A's. The truck will also get an aluminum radiator and a set of custom cut billet wheels with a matching steering wheel. Well, thanks for tuning into the new series. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for more under construction minis featured here on In the Shop.